I see you have constructed a new lightsaber.
If you had a lightsaber, what color would your crystal turn for you? Comment your color in the comments right now.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Now, here's a video I've been wanting to do since the channel's birth, but just felt like everyone already knew the answer, and there are so many videos like this on YouTube that I felt that it's just no point doing it. But much to my surprise, it doesn't really seem to be as known as I thought. Do you all remember being a little kid after watching Star Wars, imagining that you had a lightsaber? I'm sure everyone here can relate. What color was your lightsaber? For me, it was always green or red. Well, in this video, we'll finally learn the different colors that are in canon, coupled with what they mean. Now, the new canon explains lightsabers as turning the color of their users' force powers, and turning red if they are forced to bleed by the Sith. In Legends, however, the colors were sought after on different planets, awarded to the user by their skills and color preference. Now, to understand a little better before we embark on these colors, we must know why a lightsaber even emits colors. So, to begin, all lightsabers house a crystal, and this crystal starts as colorless, until the user's personality and force abilities help determine what color the crystal will emit. Now, not just any Jedi can take any crystal. If it is a match, the crystal will make a soothing hum. However, if the match isn't compatible, then it will remain frozen to the touch. Let's start this off unconventionally, here as usual on Star Wars Theory. Let's begin with purple. Now, purple is a color that wasn't supposed to exist. However, when Samuel Jackson got the part of Mace Windu, he wanted to stand out. So he asked George if he could have purple. Now, I'm sure you can guess what the answer was there. Purple signifies a user of the light that harnesses some dark side attributes and attacks, while synergistically using them to defeat the dark side. Just like how Mace uses Vapad, which is a variant of the 7th lightsaber fighting style, one that Darth Maul mastered as well. It allowed him to turn the dark side energy around him towards his attacker. Blue and red makes purple, the perfect balance. Now, Disney still has yet to reveal how Mace Windu made his purple lightsaber, since they're extremely rare, which will require some backtracking, but I'm sure it'll be done at some point, at least hopefully. Next up, we'll cover blue. Now, this color is used by most Jedi as it's symbolic of guardians and protectors of the peace. They're like the warriors of the Jedi Order, by far the most well-rounded of all the Jedi, good at everything but master of none. Now, blue lightsabers are yet to be further explained by canon in Star Wars as to how a Jedi turns it blue instead of green, but in Legends, the blue crystal was abundant on the planet Ilum. Some popular blue users were Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Plo Koon. Although Plo Koon, if you wait a few minutes will get to yellow, you'll also see that he had a yellow lightsaber. So basically any Jedi Padawan before they really start to exhibit their favorable force powers and talents would have a blue lightsaber. The next color is one of my favorites, green. Now, green was used only for those who were extremely powerful in the Force, and ones who offered a different view than other Jedi. A Jedi Consular, as they called them, typically used negotiations instead of using their weapon. However, if need be, they have no problem using it, and what a force they were to be reckoned with. In conjunction with their lightsaber training, which would start at the early age of a youngling, as they would progress and own their force powers, creating the green blade that we see, their force powers would definitely help them with their attacks and their fighting style. Everything from speed to acrobatics to power would be implemented against their opponent. This makes for one of the deadliest Jedi in the galaxy, as their force powers aided their attacks and strikes. Popular green lightsaber users were Yoda, Qui-Gon Jinn, Kit Fisto, Quinlan Vos, and of course, Luke Skywalker. By the way, how many of you think Luke will have his green lightsaber in Episode 8? I hope he does. Red. The next color I'd like to talk about is red. Now, of course, we don't see light side users with red lightsabers, as no organic crystal is red to begin with. In order to make a lightsaber red, one must make it bleed against its will. I have a video covering the canon Darth Vader comic and how he made his first lightsaber turn red from green, which he stole from a Jedi. I'll have it pop up as a card now, and then at the end of this video again. Now, red signifies, if you didn't guess already, anger, hatred, pain, suffering, and destruction. Basically everything a Sith stands for. Perfect for a Sith Lord, hell-bent on killing Jedi. Some popular users include Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Count Dooku, the Inquisitors, and Kylo Ren. How many of you here think Snoke will have a red lightsaber? Or perhaps will he have a black one? Or will he not even use a lightsaber? Is he just too powerful and way beyond using a lightsaber? I'm excited to find that answer out in December. Yellow. Now, this lightsaber was more rare. Not as rare as purple, but it was typically only used by scholars and Jedi Temple guards, or in other words, Jedi Sentinels. It involved the user's crystal to identify their unique intellect and see them as somewhere in between Guardians with blue and Force-attuned Consulars with green. Now, there is no canon explanation yet about how a lightsaber turns yellow or why, but what I can say is that Jedi Temple guards rotated throughout the Order, and with this impermanent position, the yellow lightsabers would be passed around as well. You can think of it somewhat like shifts, so if Jedi Sentinels had a shift to be protectors and Jedi Temple guards, then they would take the lightsaber that was there, waiting for them from the last person. These lightsabers never belonged to any guard in particular, they were just used amongst the Order. We've seen guards use them, along with Yarael Poof and Plo Koon, who's appeared more orange at times, but I figure I'd mention it anyways due to the closeness in color until we have a canon orange explanation. The next color we'll examine is silver, or rather white. Ahsoka used this color lightsaber in Rebels, and until the Ahsoka novel came out, it was a bit of a mystery. Well, this is a lightsaber color that exists when a user reverses the bleeding method and frees a crystal from its pain that the previous user forced upon it. In other words, if you heal a bleeding crystal, then it turns white. Ahsoka took the red lightsaber crystal and freed it from its pain, turning it a pale white color. I also have a video explaining this very topic in detail, how Ahsoka turned her lightsabers white, which I'll have pop up now and at the end of the video. The last but not least lightsaber is the color black, which many speculate to be Snoke's lightsaber, as he has a black kyber crystal ring on his finger. I think that he won't even use one, but that's neither here nor there. A black lightsaber blade has been seen in the Clone Wars, used by the Dark Saber. It's an ancient weapon stolen from the Jedi hundreds of years prior to the Clone Wars by the Mandalorians. Even more distinctive than its color, or lack thereof, the Dark Saber's flat, curved blade is just like a real sword. It eventually came into the possession of Darth Maul during the Clone Wars until we see it later again in Rebels. A little Easter egg is that we can see the Darksaber written in the files in Rogue One when Jyn Erso is trying to steal the Death Star plans. Now, to throw in a bonus fact for all of those who made it this far in the video, comment below if you did. Did you know the earliest lightsabers, also called proto-sabers, didn't include internal power cells, mainly because they hadn't been invented yet? Proto-sabers had external power sources. This meant that Jedi had to carry around huge backpacks on their backs or around their waist, which were attached to the lightsaber by a power cord. If the cord was cut or severed in any way, the lightsaber would shut off in battle. The Sith were eventually the first ones to develop power cells that cut through the lightsaber cords. Also, did you know that Luke's green lightsaber in The Return of the Jedi was going to be blue? And it was even shown this way in Episode 6 promos. But George Lucas made the call to switch to green solely because the blue blade was more difficult to see during the fight scene above the Sarlacc pit while Jabba and his palace watched. The blue lightsaber was apparently getting lost in the blue sky. That means we'd never have seen green. I'm glad they changed it. It's much more cool this way. Now, the real question is, what lightsaber would you have? What color would your crystal turn, and why? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think this is one that you can refer back to later down the road if you ever forget or you want some more clarification on it. It's one that I've wanted to cover for some time. If you want me to do Legends colors, let me know, as there are literally hundreds of different colors, which I think would be pretty cool and fun to do. Also, for tomorrow's episode, do you want me to cover the reason Luke Skywalker went into hiding? There are some spoilers in this one. I wanted to take a breather from leaks and theory videos. I just didn't want to saturate you all or bored you or kind of, just spread it out over time. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it to help the channel grow, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you, always.